As usual, how's it going?
They're doing great. I was about, working, same old.
Working same old, same old? No,
Yep.
no craziness, no new things.
Well, I picked up a little extra little side job, trying to make a little extra money, but that's about it.
Ew. Okay, okay. Side gigs are
Keep
always
you
fun.
busy. Keep it busy. Keep it
Oh,
busy
no
for
doubt,
sure.
no doubt, no doubt. Let's see.
I got I got to start making money if I want to start going to the movies. Hey,
Hey, hey, that's a good way to go. What's
they're
side gig if you don't
expensive,
mind me
man. It's
asking?
like $50 to go see a movie. Especially if you get popcorn, drinks. Streaming is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you sign up with the reward program, they kind of puts that money to
Oh
get
yeah,
you. But
that
oh yeah.
helps if you do those reward programs. Yep, for sure.
Hmm. New movies that you've seen recently.
Oh, I told you about it's funny. I was telling you about. Uh, I'm trying to remember if there was any other one because I want. I don't even know if I want to mention that one, but Salem's Lot from 2024
Hmm.
was a remake of, and it looked good at the beginning. It really was. I was watching it, and I had told you, hey, you need to check it out. But this was before I'd seen the end of it. It got really stupid toward the end. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. Like most of them are. It's kind of
Yeah.
definitely wasn't scary. It wasn't scary at all. Um, I told you I like survival movies, and I watched one called Outback. As a couple got stranded in Australia, got lost. They didn't know their way out. They didn't, and it was pretty harrowing to watch that couple try to figure out, how they were going to survive.
We'll
And
be in
again, not
Australia.
not your typical horror movie, but scary nonetheless.
Hmm. I'm about to say it will be Australia. Australia's just like when I hear the jungle, or when I hear people talk about the jungle, it's either like the Amazons in South America, Africa, and then pretty much Australia, just all of Australia. It's like, man, that's
It was funny. This was more desert, though. It was more desert, more open space than anything else. I guess it's just where they had went. But yeah, it was definitely just open. There was some hills and some rocks and things of that nature, but it was
no,
still a
no.
good movie. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's called Outback. If you like survival type movies like I do, it's definitely one to pick up on and catch. I heard there's a
Hmm.
Fall 2 coming out too. And I told you I absolutely loved Fall because that's my fear is heights, falling. So I hear there's a Fall 2 coming out. I haven't seen anything on it yet, but I've heard it. So
Yep. Well, that's pretty neat. Well, yeah, just making sure, checking everything. And for the listeners who might be out there, yes, this is still the horror junkie podcast. So it was like just kind of going, I guess, a little impromptu, trying to get the ball rolling a little bit quick. For instance, your boy Quan here, got Edge right here, talking about the movies they saw, Outback, being left in Australia. That's already quite dangerous. For me though,
yeah,
I recently just saw Hard Eyes, and
good.
I,
Hard
I
Eyes looks great.
yeah, I have to admit it was pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely for me. I see they tried to make it I guess the romance in a way, like that awkward romance, but at the same time they still added the pretty much all this is going on while a serial killer is on the loose. And it kind of for me, I don't want to spoil too much, but like I can see this kind of being, I guess, the next and I don't want to jinx it, but I can see this being like the next version of like how I guess this generation scream in a way because they
Right.
yeah, because they can because pretty much how in the movie how they detailed, I guess, with the killer or yeah, with the killer, like pretty much how the why they did what they did or how they did what the reason they killed people in a way and why there's targeting these folks specifically. It kind of leaves it as usual, like how Scream was, which is basically like anyone can have, anyone can almost be the next killer because as long as they have that certain motive, like I said, I don't want to spoil it. That certain motive or the certain feeling, anybody can like jump in and try to like take the mantle of Scream, or in this case, Hard Eyes, to where it's like it's
right.
so
And
yeah.
anybody could be the target too, which
Mhm.
if you haven't seen, it just got my juices flowing, so to speak. There's a new Strangers coming out, Strangers Chapter 2. Haven't seen the reviews for previews for that. You need to watch it. The tagline is, this is great. You ready?
Mhm.
Everyone you meet is a stranger. I love it. Isn't that great?
That's pretty nice. No, no, that
So
definitely keeps you
yeah,
on your toes
movie
about
looks
who's doing
great.
what. I mean, I remember
Yeah, movie
seeing
looks great.
yeah, I remember seeing, I guess, the teaser for it for the 2nd chapter, but, like, yeah, it kinda does I guess when I look back at it and you saying that, I guess it kinda lets on, I guess, like, are the people I'm with, am I trustworthy? Are they trustworthy? Even
Wait,
though they might,
they trustworthy?
save me from stuff, but yeah.
Are they
Like
looking at me like I'm trustworthy? I'm the guy that likes horror movies.
mhm, pretty much.
And why does he always carry? And why does he always carry that knife with him?
Hey, that's a self-defense side, but yeah, you don't know. It could be random sources. But for everyone here, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and kick most of this episode off because we're gonna try to keep it short, but at the same time, I know it's gonna be hard for me and Edge specifically to keep it short because not only gonna have pretty much a double doozy, he wanted to mention that we watch or that we talk about, favorite horror shows. And I might add on to that, not only horror shows, but this can also be, I guess, a 1-2 punch of horror variations because as you know with shows and movies there are different variations, different ways that someone can be the killer, or different monsters, or how this vampire is different from this show's vampire and all that stuff. So going to try to keep it short, but like I said, as usual, I can't make any any promises, or I'm gonna try to, like, I'm gonna try to make sure, like, even if we happen to hit that certain time limit, I was gonna be like, okay, we gotta stop right there. We'll leave like a part two or something, like a part two for it next time. But yeah, we already got most of the juices flowing. And yeah, pretty much we talked about like the movies that we saw that we liked so far. So that's pretty much the warm up right there. So we'll go ahead and get into the horror shows and horror show variations. I'll pretty much have it as once again an I go, you go. Already got my list. Do you got yours?
uh, no list, but I do have a couple I can mention. Yes.
That's good. That's good. All right. So for starters, let's see. Horror show that I think everyone, of course, would like to watch or should be interested in watching is, we mentioned it earlier, a couple episodes, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, just a show about, zombie apocalypse, surviving the zombie apocalypse, and in turn surviving people who are affected by the zombie apocalypse, whether it be from trauma to possible insanity to fighting over resources and a safe place to be. So I put that up there because I grew up. I like to joke. I grew up with The Walking Dead. I was watching it when I was when I was pretty much getting out of high school, pretty much. And to this day, it still has a little place in my heart of like the first horror movie show that kind of got me. But if
Yeah,
you like
yeah, it
zombies,
has to be listed because there was 11 seasons of it. I mean,
oh
it
yeah,
carried
oh yeah,
on for a while, and of
it's
course, it has the biggest following of
mhm.
any TV
It's one of
series ever.
it's one
So,
of AMC's, biggest hitters right there. Like that's a show that almost helped put AMC on the map with a lot of stuff. So yeah. But I will
and then
say
it
it's not the
branched off into
only
other series too.
oh yeah. There's other series and we're gonna get into that for sure. But like as usual, it's a zombie show, zombie apocalypse show. But since we mentioned variations, I know it's not the only zombie apocalypse show that will be mentioned. So your turn. What is a horror show that we should sign a line on and why?
Well, I told you I love stuff that is real life and true stories. And obviously, if you've been able to watch the show called Dahmer, it was on Netflix. It was about the Jeffrey Dahmer story. It was called Dahmer Monster. And it was
Mhm,
limited. I think it was only 2 seasons or whatever, but it was really, really well done. Forgot the guy. Oh, Evan Peters. Evan Peters was the main actor,
mhm.
and he was in a lot of American Horror Story, which I'm also going to mention. But great acting. I mean, that could really make the show to me. And again, I love true to life stories. So those really kind of make you think, hey, this guy looks like your next door guy, but he's also that guy that will easily kill you and eat you too. So
Yeah.
pretty scary. Of course, the whole thing of somebody eating me is not really scary because you're already dead. So I mean, I don't know if that really scares me. It's just gross, but still, you're gonna get
It's gross,
killed.
yeah, but it has its moments, and yeah, just to like have that, that effect of like, a killer that's not only gonna a killer that actually treats you like pretty much prey, like all the way. Like prey isn't like I'm not only gonna kill you, I'm gonna like eat you or wanna like mount you somewhere to let people know or to remind me that that I took you out, like that kind of thing. Like that's
Right,
always has like a
right.
little bit extra for it. And then yeah, you mentioned pretty much American Horror Story. I dig American Horror Story myself, especially the let's see, what was it? It was yeah, especially the second and the third season for sure. Like just the pretty much it was I think the second one was like Asylum, and then the third one
Right,
was like the Coven, like the witch's coven thing.
right.
That's
The witch is coming, right?
yeah, I think those were the ones that like for yeah, like almost like if I had to choose to watch American Horror Story again, and I had to choose like 2 seasons, it'd probably just be back to those 2 seasons because those seasons were just off the wall crazy and like scary kind of things, and they even hit like a lot of horror subjects. I mean, like you have
Right, of
the
course.
second one that hit not only like some kind of religious stuff, but also like a bit of like possession and even like some aliens and random creatures. And then, of course, you have Coven, which hit mostly magic, but of course, it had to go with some other supernatural, like dark spirits and making pacts and all that stuff. So I can very dig American Horror Story for real. That's good. That's good. All right, let's see. And then I definitely got to check out Dahmer. I know that's been on Netflix for a while. I definitely got to check it out. But let's see. For that one, since you made a series about a killer, I too will also put one in, and it's actually one of my favorites. Actually, both of them are favorite. But have you seen the following?
Oh, man, the movie, I saw the movie The
It's a
Following.
show.
Is that the show? No, I don't think I've seen
The
it.
show. Well, the
Oh,
show.
I'm thinking of The Happening. No,
Yeah,
not The
no, no,
Following.
no, not the happening. No, no, please, no, please, no. That's
The Happening wasn't
just
bad.
hearing that name is already scary. Just like the happening. No, not the happening. No, the following. The following. But I definitely think if you haven't seen it, you would like it a lot. It pretty much stars Kevin Bacon as major detective. And I liked the following a lot because not only was it like gritty and like very, I want to say dark in a way, but it featured a different way that I guess a serial killer can be deadly. Because the main the main serial killer for the first 2 seasons is this serial killer who not only is like very good at what he does, but he has a charismatic way of turning people who follow him into serial killers. And it's like
Right,
like I thought that was like a nice little spin to like because the following they basically dubbed it the following because basically like the people who like followed him who like aspire to be like something like him. So that's pretty much his following. Like he has a bunch of followers that he kind of convinces and talk to them in a certain way that eventually they want to be serial killers and end up killing people. And it's just like I thought that was like a new spin on like serial killers because we always hear about, the unique guy, but we never hear about the guy who like teaches people or convinces people to go kill other people. And I thought that was a very awesome, notable mention. Like the following for sure. It's
yeah, and obviously, and I don't know how many more we want to add on to this. There's tons of them. That's why I mentioned the other day.
oh
The
yeah.
one thing about TV shows, you can catch them anytime, and you can follow them on your own pace, so to speak. But I
Hmm.
also absolutely loved them. Them as an Amazon series based back in 2021. It's only been 2 seasons.
Hmm.
Strictly African American series. Everybody in that's acts on it is African American,
Right.
and it is very, very well done. Very, very well done. Very scary. the thought process of the show is very scary, and then the visuals of the show is very scary. So get a chance to watch that.
I
It's
remember
very good, especially the first couple seasons with undertones of racial tensions and things like that. So
yeah, no, I definitely gotta check that out. I remember seeing trailers of that too, and I've been meaning to kinda jump onto that myself. That's very good. I like that, I like that. Let's see, speaking of, let's see, there you said yeah, now it's pretty much diving into other stuff. I mean, diving in, I guess, to certain series on certain, I guess, streaming services. Because
right,
on, Netflix, we have pretty much even though they're known for, like, Stranger Things and stuff, if you've ever seen, Haunting of Hill House and,
yeah,
its sequel series and even, like, The Fall of House of Usher, that was very I think that was, like, very good supernatural horror, like, because with Haunting of Hill House, especially like the first season, it's like it's very I want to say it's almost like sneaky horror. Like like
right,
in some cases you have to pay attention to almost be like, oh snap, there's something right there. Like I like how they implement their ghosts. Like it's not like always up front and screaming at you. It's kind of like someone's having a conversation and you just see like some motions like right here, and it just goes like, there's something right there. What's going on with that? And it's I thought, like, pretty much I liked it, and The Fall of House of Usher is I wouldn't say necessarily a ghost story, but it kinda has the same, cast, a little bit of the same cast from the, Haunting of Hill House, and it's definitely, like, supernatural and takes a different turn, I guess, of, like, making a pact and what happens when it's your time, it's your time.
right. You know, I know you kind of just hit on one. We almost could do a whole podcast on Stranger Things, and it would be because you got to remember a lot of teenagers and a lot of kids watch Stranger Things. It can be very scary in the way the
Mhm.
creatures and
Oh, yeah.
the scenery and the jump scares and things of that nature. So it's a good way. We talked about this the first episode. Yeah, tell me something that they can watch that'll maybe get them into horror, and that would be a good one to start off with because it
Yeah.
is
No, no,
I think
Stranger
very well
Things
done. Very well done.
Oh, yeah, like, Stranger Things, I would say definitely yes, if they watch from the 1st season to all the way to, like, yeah, the last season, quotation mark, last season. Pretty much like, yes, I definitely would 100% agree because like, that definitely hits on, like, the supernatural part, and not only that, it's like it's supernatural, but it's also like it's different I wanna say it's a different, style, different story of supernatural, and I say it like that is because we're all used to like, ghosts or demons or like, some sort of dimensions here and there. But this I think Strange Thing was the first time that I wanted to be like, I'm gonna set myself apart a little bit more and be with monsters that even y'all haven't seen yet. And I
Right.
give and that like takes major creativity because like it's some of the monsters that came out from the Stranger Things series, like I didn't even know, you know, someone could come up with something unique and different. But Stranger Things did it. Like it was very, very unique, very nice.
Very unique. Yes, very unique.
Indeed, indeed. Let's see. Think I'm
Did
about
you
to
watch the creep tapes yet?
the creep tapes
You
yet?
mentioned that in the last episode. Yeah, the creep
Yep, you
tapes.
did
Yeah,
mention
make
that.
sure
Yeah,
you get a chance to watch that.
I have not.
Very
But
well rated on Shutter. Watch Shutter to get that one, but it's really well done.
I like that creep takes for sure. Creep takes for sure. All right, for me, this is where it's going to kind of get. I don't want to say a little bit goofy, but like as usual, it's in the horror genre still because funny stuff happens. Let's see. Have you heard of a series called Stand Against Evil?
No, I've not heard. I was about to say the stand, but yes, no
Yeah,
stand
no.
against people.
Stand Against Evil is pretty much a horror comedy for sure. Trying to think what channel we first saw it on, but it was like one Halloween. No, it wasn't even Halloween. It was like one October. We were like seeing something on one of the channels on Sling, and it was like Stand Against Evil. and we watched it, and ever since the first episode, we, like, loved it. Like, it's basically a horror comedy. It's about, like, all these supernatural things happening in this small town, and most of the time, it involves, like, the sheriff of that town pretty much going down and destroying the evil, and as usual be, like, interesting but funny horror scenarios. Like, there was, like, I think there was one scenario to where it's like there was a succubus in there that was trying to enchant the female, sheriff. There was, like, a demon baby. Like, it was, like, crazy stuff, but also
Gotta love demon babies.
yep, crazy stuff, but also wacky stuff. Like, just how like, you can tell, like, just with some of the makeup, they wanted to, like, make it creative, but at the same time, they wanted to make sure it's like, "Hey, it's a little scary, but mostly it's funny, so enjoy yourself," that kinda thing. Like, it's
Right.
so, yeah, like, just remember,
Hey,
guys,
by
like
the way, yeah, no demon baby's gonna do nothing against me. I'm sorry. If we talk about stuff that's not gonna kill us, clowns and a demon baby. I'm sorry. Just like
clown
Chucky,
and a
I'm gonna
demon
chop
baby.
Chucky up
I I mean I
and put
mean
Chucky in the fire.
I'd put Chucky for sure. So yeah, it's yeah, yeah. I like that. Yeah, we can interject that right quick, like any I guess new ones. So like yeah, yeah, Demon Babies will be on that list for you, and I think lightly for me. But I think what could I? Hmm. I mean, you said clowns. Trying to make sure it'd be unique, but I don't know. I don't know. Got to think of another one. But another thing that probably I could body for sure. Like I don't know. It's maybe. I mean, I wanna say maybe select Scream, Ghostface killers, select ones, select ones,
Right,
and I say select ones because, like, maybe 1 or 2 of them for sure is, like, we know that they're a little bit sloppy, and it's like, I probably on a one-on-one fight, I'm probably get him good. I'm probably get him real good, but if it's like, like the OG original, like, Ghostface people, like the 2 of them, and maybe, like, the other variations that I still need to watch. I don't know, I think those might be the ones that can get me, so I gotta be, like, I gotta be selective and be like the probably, like, some of the Ghostface Scream killers, like, I can probably take on, but
right,
on the
right.
same
No
boat,
doubt
like
about that. Sure.
yeah, but pretty much on the same boat, like, some of the other Scream killers that could probably take me out, like, for real, like, especially if they're, like, ruthless, I still remember the newer one that where, like, the guy like, use the gun, and I'm just like, "Oh, Ghostface using a gun? That's new. That sounds it's"
That is very new. Yes, that was out of character for sure.
Yep. Got you. Let's see, I got it from Stan Against Evil. What's another show on your list?
Or we're still talking about TV shows. We're still going that route.
Yeah. I just wanna do a show
By the way,
small.
I saw. Oh yeah, you're good. I saw the preview for the monkey, and I really liked it. I can't wait
Really,
to
really
watch
liked
it.
it?
Well, yeah, I like it. It's gonna be got a lot of Final Destination feel to it. I like it.
Mhm.
I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid to a certain extent, but still, I like it.
I mean,
I
it
definitely want to see Hard. I definitely want to see Hard Eyes because I love slashers. That's right up there with my top things to do. So I like season one, and I really haven't watched season two enough to say I like it yet. But Castle Rock because I'm a big fan of oh gosh, I don't forgot the name of the movie now. I'll come up with it in a second. But anyway, watch the first season of Castle Rock. Very, very good. Stephen King wrote it based on the movie that I can't think of the name of right now. It'll hit me in a second. I'll say, oh, that one. And yeah, but anyways, yeah, get a chance to watch that one. Really creepy, dark, sinister little feel to that one too.
hmm, I can dig that. It was pretty good. I don't think I've watched it myself, so that's probably something I gotta dig into, and I do and yeah, if you're going into horror, like, yeah, you gotta watch some of Stephen King's great movies, you got pretty much the It movie, you got pretty much I wanna say, yeah, Pet Cemetery. That's a pretty classic one for Stephen King. If you want for anyone diving into Stephen King movies, I mean, let's see, Cujo, that's like a notable one.
Cujo,
I'm actually
that's
surprised.
old school.
Yeah, I mean, no, so most of his movies is old school. Like I mean, there's only been like maybe a few of them that's been remade, or turned into like
right,
a show or something. But yeah, like most of them are old school. I mean, like, yeah, I like it. And I actually kind of find it interesting, like no one hasn't made remade Cujo yet. Granted, Cujo's like that weird, I guess, timeless, you know, horror
right,
movie when you
right.
think about it, the killer dog that's infected by rabies and like pretty much almost kills everybody. Like that's a hard
Yeah,
thing to beat. That's a hard thing to beat.
oh, by the way, that movie was called Misery. It's very getting very old. You know, I go way back with my movies. That's
Agree.
from 1990. Kathy Bates was played Annie Wilkes. Well, Castle Rock is based on the character Annie Wilkes um, when before she became stalking the writer.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, that's what it was based on. So you get a chance to watch. It's really cool watching
Interesting.
her go crazy based on the drugs and everything she was taking. It definitely took a toll on her, and that but it's just really creepy. The show's just really creepy, and I like creepiness too. I mean, it's that. I mean, again, horror doesn't have to always be slasher, tear you up.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, because I told you I'm a big fan of. I'm a huge fan. Of course, of this one, if anybody watches it, they may go, "Okay, he's way off base," but I loved oh gosh, my names of my movies are slipping me today. Movies like The Hills Have Eyes. I mean, those are movies that are they're crazy, but yet they're scary enough because you think, couldn't that happen? Like
Hmm.
couldn't people be set apart in a nuclear plant
Yep.
area where they turn into stuff we don't know what they
Hmm.
are? Like The Hills Have Eyes too.
Oh
Those
no.
kind of movies.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Hills
so
Have Eyes
that
is
those
like
are kind of things.
it's like crazy and gritty. Like, and like I said, I don't know if you're talking about like the old school one, but I like remember seeing the first one, like the remake of the first one. I was like, oh my god, like
Right.
they didn't hold anything back in that movie, like for real. They
But
just
the first one was banned in a bunch of countries before it could ever get shown because of its craziness. There was a couple of movies like that back in the day that they didn't want to go past a certain,
Mhm,
to a certain length before it would get shown. And back we talked about this I think back on episode one, so I can't remember, but we kind of there's that to me. There's that level you got to make sure. Do you want to see a kid get killed? Well, of course, not to give too much away again,
yep,
but that happens in one of the movies I just watched. And I was like, well, you know what? It's part of the movie, so I'm just gonna watch it. My,
yep,
my
yep,
wife even walked in and said, "Oh, that don't normally happen, does it?"
yeah,
She didn't watch it. But,
yep. It's like you gotta understand certain movies will push the boundaries, and you also gotta understand what your boundaries are. Like even if it's a little bit. Like, yeah, I think when I was watching pretty much the Netflix movie The Silence, like pretty much there's a scene in there that quote unquote pretty much a pet gets killed in a way. And they didn't see it, they didn't show it, but they definitely implied about what happened to the pet. And it's funny you say that because like you're talking about that. I was getting M to watch The Silence, and she got to that scene, and I was like the first time she was like, "No, no, no, I can't watch this. That's horrible. That's horrible." I was like, they're not gonna show it. I had like urges like they're not gonna show it. It's gonna like it's gonna like fade in and fade back out, and you're not gonna know anything happens, but they're not gonna show the they're not gonna show the pet being taken out like that. Trust me, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen like that. It's like, okay, okay. And I guess for her, that's pretty much her limit. Like she will watch horror movies with me, but if it involves like, a pet animal possibly getting mauled or like killed off, she's like, no, 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 I don't want to watch it. I'm not here for it. And
yeah,
that's
another
and
movie that didn't scare me, and I'd kick them across the room is Pet Cemetery. Like the one where the cat came in. I'm gonna kick a cat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't have no cat that came back from the grave. Of course, it was a dog in the first one, which was still. Oh no, it was a kid. The first one, the dog came back. I think it
Mhm.
might have been the second or the third one. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But the first one was pretty creepy because of the boy coming back to life. The boy that had died,
That
um,
that
got
boy
hit by the truck.
that boy actor, like he was a kid, but he killed that part. Like I'm talking like that's
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to make a I don't want a bad joke. Yeah, I don't want to make a bad joke with kids, but like if you want to have someone watch something for like I guess kid deterrent, It's like, "Oh," it's like, "I'm thinking about having a kid." It's like, "Oh, yeah? Watch the first Pet Cemetery and tell me what you think." Like, that's like, I don't know, like, when I saw that, I was like, "Good God," like, and we know you're acting, but jeez, the
Yeah, really.
he he played that part for sure, like, God.
Yes,
Yeah,
gotta love the yeah, the acting again can make a movie, can make or break a movie. So
yep,
to me, it
yep.
can.
Mhm. No, no, so I feel with that because like, pretty much another Stephen King movie that, like, I have, mixed feelings about, and this went from, like, shows to Stephen King movies, but I'm cool with it. I gotta like it. Another Stephen King movie that I'm like, one half I like the concept, but the other half, the some of the story and definitely some of the acting was, like, way, way off, was, Sleepwalkers. Have you heard of it?
I like Sleepwalkers. It wasn't scary to me though, but I
Well,
liked
no,
it. I
no,
thought it was well
so
done.
no, I liked it, and there was, like, some movies where it was, like, well done, but you literally if you take a second look and you look at some of the small, I guess, acting details, you can tell it's just like, "Oh, no, some of y'all didn't try hard enough." Like, I can tell some of y'all goofed, like, it's like, it was the one scene that pops in my head, was, I guess spoiler, everybody, if you wanna watch Sleepwalkers, go watch it. I think it's pretty decent. He thinks it's pretty decent. But spoiler
I
alert, give
think
you
it's very
three,
decent.
2, 1. Okay. So with that one, it was a scene to where like the cop was trying to shoot the woman and he had like the revolver and the revolver's out of bullets. But how he was shooting was just like you're kind of overacted it. Like, most of the time when we see people that when they're kind of like overacting something, they go like, or when they act, they go like, kick, kick. Oh, okay, this ain't working. How this guy does it, and I still remember this reaction to this guy. He's going, "Ugh," like that. I'm like,
Right. A little bit overdone for sure.
yes. Like he squinted his eyes. He did like this motion. I'm like, have you really held a gun before? It's-
Gotta love that.
Ah, but yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, that pretty much hits a lot right there. Like there's a lot of shows right there. I mean, we can go into more. I mean, we can definitely go into more details. I mean, there's like some high notables for me. Like for example, uh, True Blood pretty much has horror like finesse to it, but it definitely has those southern and that unique undertones that I like. And it definitely doesn't hold back on certain things, of course. And then for other zombie flicks, you and me both agree that, Last of Us, especially coming out with a second season, that's very good, especially
Cannot
with
wait.
especially with the fungi zombies that can range between crazy to like almost invincible, depending on what kind of
Right.
weapons going on.
If you want to see an ultimate zombie, and I call him the ultimate zombie, watch The Last of Us.
The
He's
Last of
on
Us.
there, I guarantee it.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
know.
an
I don't
ultimate
know. It
zombie. That zombie's pretty
I,
unstoppable.
I can go with that. Yeah, Last of Us has some pretty good zombies, but another show that I like that involves well, actually, that's two zoos that I like that involve zombies that I'm about to talk about or kind of spiel on a little bit. But here's another show, and it's a popular show on Sci-Fi called The Nation. Have you heard of that one?
No, I don't think so.
It's
I've never
basically
seen.
Yeah, it's basically another horror comedy that has some seriousness to it a bit, but it's basically like, another zombie apocalypse thing. Only they not only hold back on like some of, I guess, the warm-hearted and sometimes the goofiness of, I guess, like sometimes being in a zombie apocalypse, but also like the different takes of zombies. Like, pretty much you see throughout the show, like you see them like, there's zombies that are radiated. There's zombies that have been pretty much like melted in metal, but they don't die. So this you just pretty much trying to find a way
Right.
to try to kill them. Like they're very like almost with I want to say if Z Nation is pretty much for me if The Walking Dead didn't take itself seriously. Like it's because like it's still a good show and it still has like those serious heart moments, but there's definitely a lot of slightly goofy moments that makes you like smile or make a laugh a little bit. And that's actually one of the I can say that. It's actually one of the few shows and movies that is made by sci-fi that I would recommend, because like, with sci-fi, it's like,
Check it out with Apple Search.
yeah, sci-fi is like a hit and miss, like, either, like, it does pretty good or it's like, "What did y'all Sharknado 4, really? Y'all did that?" Like, but Z Nation was like is on I wanna say it's on that top, like, if you wanna see the good parts of the Sci-Fi Channel, that is look up Z Nation. I think it's on, yeah, and it's on Netflix too, and it's
Okay,
doing pretty good, pretty good. And yeah,
check it out for sure.
speaking on Netflix, this might be, well, no, this is not the closest to the last one I mentioned, and then you keep going back and forth. Pretty much show any shows notable that you can, like, kinda, I guess, spitball and give a quick take on?
More TV shows we're still on.
Yeah, just in case.
Um, no, no extra ones. I mean, because I mean, again, my favorites are like American Horror Story, my favorite, just because of the way it was made. The very first couple of seasons. The rest of them got a little bit weird for me, but I still like the first couple. Um, I like uh, I like any series. Like I said, if I can watch a series that is based on true life stuff. I like that kind of stuff. There's one on, I forgot the station it's on, but there's one just based on cults in America. And cults are scary things, and these, especially, I mean, not to me because I never would get involved with, but you just see what people get involved with sometimes. It's interesting to say
Oh,
the
yeah.
least, but again, not necessarily scary. So it depends on where you want to draw that line as to what's actually horror and what's
Mhm.
not actually horror, what's actually going to scare somebody, what's not actually going to scare somebody. Um, and I think the American Horror Story definitely lends toward that as far as being the one that's going to scare people. Most, Walking Dead's okay. It's more tense filled, I guess,
Yeah,
than
it tends to
scary.
drama for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Tense and drama, and you gotta deal with the relationship sides of all that too.
Mhm.
Um, but again, that it's obviously drawn out too. There's not very many short TV series that are out there that are good. The Creep Tapes I told you is very good. They're fixing to come out. I think they're going to come out with a second season of that soon too.
Oh, I
I
gotta
think it
try
was
to
only
jump
like
on
8 episodes in the first one. So yeah, you got to see that. Again, just very well made. One of those you just kind of go, oh, this could happen. This could happen in real life, or
Mhm,
maybe it did happen in real life. That's what they're portraying. So
mhm.
that's my favorites that I would think everybody would need to try to at least catch up to this point.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I agree, I agree. Well, yeah, I think that pretty much hits it on the head. Let's see, I actually have a secret topic, I guess, for what is it? I guess for I don't wanna say secret because friends are gonna be posted up anyway. Um, I guess for the next episode, and I'm thinking for the next episode, if you think it'd be a good idea, is I guess, like, horror anthologies, like, good horror anthologies. Basically, it's like kinda like multiple short stories in, like, a movie.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
what
we
would
can go that route for sure.
yeah, what would you think about that? Because like, I have maybe 2, 3 in mind that I think probably be good, and basically, reason why I think anthologies would also be a good thing for, I guess, beginner horror movies, horror junkies to start in is because like, they basically get, like, if they choose the right one or the right series, they pretty much get a slice of each of the pie, but instead of them, like, spending, like, an hour or 2 on each of those kinda, like, movie genre subjects, they can just
Right.
watch this whole movie, and, like, pretty much every 30 minutes, it, like, changes a different story, and it's not gonna be anything. In fact, actually, American Horror Story in a way is
In a way, it does. Yeah.
it's pretty much on that list because not only do they change it up every season, but it's like I think even the new I think even, like, the newest seasons that they're coming out that they came out with, it's kind of playing off that anthology to where it's like every episode is a different story, but with
Right.
like same actors. Like, yeah. So yeah.
Same
Start.
actors, yeah, same actors, and using, and sometimes that gets a little confusing too. But again, it can be,
Yeah.
it helps too because if you watch the same actors, you know kind of what to expect. Most of they're good actors or good actresses. So,
Mhm. But yeah, I think that'd be a good one to start off on pretty much next episode. Pretty much be anthologies, seeing what would be like some good anthologies that not only beginner horror junkies could watch, but also like some memorable anthologies from like old to like more recent that people from horror might like. And and any subjects you might want to hit on? Because I mean, we kind of hit. Yeah, I think we kind of hit like two on this one on this episode. We hit from like shows, some light variations, but we definitely like. I think we hit Stephen King on the head a little bit. It's. I think we.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Anytime you could talk about authors that turn their movies into books, like I said, excuse me, books that turn themselves into movies, and how well the adaptation is, that could be a great topic too. But of course, eventually, I'd like to get into just breaking down, even if it's just trailers, just breaking it down bit by bit by bit, talking about what we see, what we think is going to happen, what we think did happen, or even if it's just breaking down a movie, we could take 30 minutes, break down a movie, bit by piece, and go from there. I'm not sure how close we could get to showing movie scenes on here, but we could go get there eventually. I think
Yeah,
post
I'm probably
copyrights
like.
and things of that nature. So
I'll probably look into that. Like, yeah, see what I can download. Like, yeah, like if you want to, I guess, like send a message of certain movies you want to like dissect and see what your take on it and what my take on it is. I'll definitely be cool with
I
that.
think
Yeah.
I definitely think it'd be interesting too. I mean, what, like I said, I love getting the first few videos again. We can keep on those too. The hard junk. Anytime we can mention movies, and hopefully people are going. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna watch this based on what he said. You
Mhm,
know, you got to make a list. there are so many movies. I was realizing the other day. There's so many movies I haven't seen because there are so many choices
mhm,
that I may want to see. So you almost have to break it down. Why do I want to see it?
mhm,
What genre do I want to see? Do I want to see a slasher? Do I want to see a zombie movie? Do I want to see a
mhm,
vampire movie? Do I want to see a werewolf movie? You got to almost break it down because there's so many to see. So we got to, or you could just see, like I said, you could list the award winners like The Shining, The Exorcist, those kind of movies that people need to see, right off the top. And that may be a good. There you go. There's a good list too. Talking about award-winning movies that people go, oh, wow, that had Jack
yeah,
Nicholson in it, really? They'll go, I'm gonna go watch that just for that.
bet.
And of course, that's again more thinking man's horror. You're not gonna watch it, see any, nobody gets slashed or dashed or whatever. It's just thinking man's horror. And you gotta love those too, like the Blair Witch Project. I mean, I could throw out 1,000 of them.
Nah, I can probably.
I actually like the Blair Witch Project. I'm one of the few guys that like that
Uh,
one too. But
I mean, I love the simplicity of it. Like and it's definitely notable. And I'm also the kind of person that likes how they take a simple concept and they make the whole thing like the movie, like the because like because yeah, because and we might drop it after this, but pretty much like how the Saw was like, even though I made a joke about like how now almost every 2 years when it's Halloween they got to come up with a new Saw movie. The original Saw and how that concept started still to this day is like that is like so efficient right there. Like, I mean, like
that is.
you pretty much start off in like one room, you're trapped in one room, you're hearing about like what the characters do, but it literally just takes place in this one room. And it's just like, hey, so while you're talking, you have this much time to decide if you're gonna, cut off a limb or if you're gonna do this. So it's
And you get to see a little bit of backstory into it too, which I told you. Well, Saul's definitely up there, one of my favorite all time movies. But of course, I don't know if you know there's Saul 11 about to come out. So put down your list. Gotta watch it somewhere down the line. I've seen all 10,
oh Lord.
including Spiral, which I still think counts. I'd have to look to see if they count Spiral on the list of Saw movies. It's about Saw, but it's not Saw, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's counted or not. But Saw 11 coming out this Halloween, I think, as you just mentioned. So be ready for that. I
Yes.
think Tobin Belt returning too. So
Gotcha. Yeah, you're good. I'm just writing the notes down just to make sure. So pretty much for next time. Yeah, pretty much
I
we got.
throw a million out at one time. It's like they carry.
Oh yeah, no, no. Like I said I'm usually good with that. I'm usually gonna keep up. So pretty much just making sure that for the next season We have pretty much anthologies and award-winning horror movies. But
That's
that's all
good.
with a mouthful. But I like that. I like that. Cool, cool. Well, everybody, pretty much we got that time for next episode. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. As usual, please like, share, subscribe. We'll try to put these out as often as possible. I'm trying to think, do you want to